So, Kenny, it has been a busy period for the men's under-20 squad over the past couple of months ahead of the World Rugby Under-20s Trophy. Can you give me a bit of a rundown of what you guys have been up to then?
Yeah, we obviously, after Six Nations, we had a bit of a downtime as a group. Boys went back into their environments, some guys back into senior academies, other boys back into the pony group, guys back down south to their clubs at universities. Some folk played in the Super Series Sprint, which was great for them. And then we came back in really sort of the last week in May, we had an alignment day, and then we came back into training camps that sort of first week in June. We've been training throughout June, weekly sort of programme, generally Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but we obviously had that Wales game in there, which gave us a good hit out. And yeah, then trained this week and a few days off at the start of next week and ready to go at the end of next week for Junior World Trophy.
So you've mentioned that you've just come back from playing like a development conditioned hit out against Wales over the past weekend. So how important was that for both teams involved coming up, playing against each other ahead of their tournament?
Yeah, really important for us to get that, a Six Nations team in the in preparation for this tournament. Obviously Wales are a team that, on their day can beat anybody in the Six Nations. They've shown that they've got some quality players. So the game gave us a level of intensity and physicality that we want to play at to prepare us for the Junior World Trophy, particularly the first game against Samoa. So it was really good from that perspective.
So moving on to the squad, you've got a few new names who are joining a familiar group that we've seen over the past year or so. Can you talk a bit more about those new additions that are coming into the group and what you hope they'll bring to the squad?
Yeah, obviously we'll start maybe around in the front row. Obviously Seb Stephen. Seb actually played for Scotland under-18s last year, and he's been away training in New Zealand for a bit. So he was over there. He's been playing a bit of club rugby. We've got him back early. Obviously we picked up an injury to Elliot Young in the Six Nations, which was really disappointing for Elliot. He'd been obviously training and playing well. So Seb comes back and gives us a bit of cover in there. At second row we've got a couple of old heads in there with Ryan Burke, Hugh McVie, which is excellent to see. Conor McAlpine is a name that maybe some folk won't know as much. Conor, again, a very talented player, but missed a fair bit of rugby due to injury. So he's back in the men now. He's obviously played some Super Six over the last while and has been training really well for us. So great again to see him back involved. Guys like Finn Thompson played a little bit last year. He was ill, so people probably didn't get to see him as much. But again, another really good physical back player for us, and that we're looking forward to seeing play. Ludo Kalade, Ludo was he got injured during Six Nations, which prevented him from being selected really. But he's back to full fitness now. Ludo's down at Bath Uni, but playing with Harlequins. So again, he's down there training at a really high level. His preferred positions in the midfield, but he can cover other positions as well. So again, really looking forward to seeing him get on the pitch.
Perfect. And you and the coaching group have selected the very experienced Liam McConnell to captain the team again for this tournament. So tell me why you've brought him into this role again and what he can bring to it.
Yeah, obviously it was probably an easy selection for us in terms of the captain. Liam, he's got the complete respect of the playing group. He talks really well. The thing I love about Liam is the standards he sets for himself and others. We talk about poking in the belly, not sort of stabbing in the back a bit as a group. So Liam's the guy that sets those standards. If he thinks things should be better, he'll be the first to say that. He drives the standards in his own game, and he makes sure that others around him, coaches and staff, do that as well. So yeah, he's a great leader. He's a guy that I think a lot of players would walk off the end of a cliff to support. So excited to see him back playing and ready to go.
You've named Geordie Gwynn and Tom Curry as your vice-captains as well, so what do they bring to support Liam?
Yeah, Geordie obviously took on more of a leadership role in the Six Nations when Liam got injured as a sort of vice-captain, if you like. So he brings great leadership. He's a really good leader, particularly in the backs group, talks really well, and again, a guy that for me sets high standards. And the same with Tom. Tom has already shown he's an outstanding rugby player. What I like about Tom is he really leads by his behaviours, and that's why I've made him vice captain. His intent off the pitch, his physicality that he shows, we think that's something that he can really help lead the boys into this competition with.
Perfect. And then looking ahead to the World Rugby Under-20s Trophy, Scotland will be playing against Samoa, Hong Kong, China and Japan in their pool matches. So what are you expecting from these teams when they come to Edinburgh?
Yeah, it's always a tough group. They all have different, strengths. I'd imagine with Samoa, we know are a very good unstructured team. They come alive from sort of unstructured play. They've got some very good one-on-one attacking players. So, we're going to have to be at the top of our game to make sure we play well and win against Samoa. We had a win last year against them, but that means nothing now. It's a completely new playing group, different context. So we are expecting a tough group. Hong Kong and China again, we don't know as much about, but we watched them last year in Kenya, so we know they can definitely string some performances together. So again, we're going to have to make sure we do our due diligence on them when we see them play. And then Japan, as everyone knows, they just got relegated from the Junior World Championship. I remember watching them last year against New Zealand, and they were excellent. They've been over in Canterbury doing some training over there, so yeah, they're going to be a real handful as well. Everybody knows how they play, so we'll get some 3 tough games in the pool group before we get into the playoff game.
Finally, Scotland are hosting the tournament obviously here at Hive Stadium. How good will it be for the team to play the tournament on home soil in front of a home crowd?
Yeah, I think the boys got really excited in the Six Nations. I think everyone at Scottish Rugby that helped get those crowds into the 20s games, it was fantastic for the boys. Real plaudits for the folk who did that. The boys love it, playing in front of family, friends. A great, the noise level outstanding. So now we've got an opportunity to do that in the Junior World Trophy. Last year we were in Kenya, not as many fans behind us, but it'll help spur us on. We want to, inspire, obviously other people coming behind us, and that's what I spoke about, not just about making our country proud, but putting rugby in a better place at under 20 level. So, yeah, boys are really excited about it, and they've trained hard. That's one thing I would say over the last 3 or 4 weeks. They've really trained hard, and I've really pushed them. So, I think they're all ready to go now to play the games.